Tom Taylor and Bruno Redondo make their debut on Nightwing as the hero returns to his true self, learning something quite shocking from an old friend as one of his oldest enemies conspire to finally kill Dick Grayson for good. Tom Taylor does an absolutely fantastic job bringing Nightwing back into the blue and back to his normal self again. I really enjoyed bringing that sense of fun he does with everything he writes, while also not forgetting to tell a meaningful story. And boy, it doesn't get any more meaningful than Dick and Alfred's close relationship, which is at the center of this refresh for the character. I like the idea that Dick now has access to billions of dollars, and I'm looking forward to learning what he will do with it, since as Alfred says, he's one of the best problem solvers he's ever known, and I imagine he can solve quite a few problems with that money now, hopefully. Dick's deep relationship with Barbara Gordon is also explored, and I imagine once the book gets properly going, we are going to see the formation of maybe a more romantic relationship between the two again, especially since the book seems to be undoing almost everything that was wrong with the whole Rick Grayson thing. Bruno Redondo again teams with Taylor to give Nightwing the awesome art he deserves in this refresh. I've always loved the way Bruno draws his characters with great bold lines, working really well again with his great panel layout, which giving Nightwing's acrobatic skills is really cool this issue, with some fantastic action panels and panels within panels and everything like that. All of this of course is bathed in Adriano Lucas's lovely warm colours that help make the book feel very comforting and welcoming, like you're being welcomed back to the family that you once left. Nightwing issue 78 was an awesome return to form for the character after a few years of very lackluster retcons and changes that never stuck. Tom Taylor does a great job reminding us all why Nightwing is a very cool character, as well as providing some small fun new changes to him that I'm looking forward to getting cracked wide open in the upcoming issues. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10. Nightwing issue 78 heads into the past, where a young Barbara Gordon helps a boy who is being beaten by Shelton Lyle, a rich kid bully who demands to know what Barbara's problem is. Soon Dick Grayson gets involved, which frustrates Shelton as well, telling the boy he knows all about Dick since he caught his act at the circus, calling it the best he's ever seen, but he guesses the flying Graysons couldn't fly after all. Dick tells him to walk away and leave the kid alone, angering Shelton more, who asks if Dick is stupid. Dick says the rich kid is stupid, since he can't count, as 3-on-1 is pretty pathetic. Despite Shelton being taller and older than Dick, the boy easily defends himself against him, hitting Sheldon in the face with his own head, as Barbara joins in to help rescue the other boy. The gang soon overpowers Dick as the cops arrive, but Sheldon isn't worried about them since his father owns the police. Barbara knows that they won't listen to him over her as her father arrives. Detective Jim Gordon talks with Sheldon, who is reprimanded for what he has done, as later, Jim takes Dick back home to Wayne Manor. Barbara is amazed that Dick lives in a literal castle, asking if he's got a dragon or a moat, or if his dishes break into musical numbers every now and then. Dick gets out of the car as Barbara says that it was nice to meet him, telling him that if he ever needs rescuing from his castle tower, to send his fairy godmother to her. Dick knew that Bruce would be angry, but finds out that he wasn't even home, so Alfred takes care of things, thanking Detective Gordon before finding Dick inside doing the dishes, reminding the boy that that is his job. Dick says that he never is going to be cool with that, just wanting to help out. Alfred knows that, also knowing that he fought 3 students. Dick defends his actions, saying that they were hurting a boy and that he's sorry for it. Alfred is taken aback by that, saying that while Bruce thinks only one man can be in a costume, he's glad that Dick Grayson steps up when someone is in need, and it takes a different hero to help without a mask. In the present, a small 3-legged puppy runs away from some goons who catch up to it, kicking the dog down. Luckily, Nightwing arrives, saying that he would usually start with something witty or disarming, but he's too disgusted with the men to do that. One of the guys says they're just having fun, but Dick doesn't find anything fun about torturing small animals, knowing they probably need to find something less destructive like watching movies or ice skating. One of the men goes for a gun, pointing it at the dog as Nightwing bats it from his hand with his baton, pouncing on the men and attacking them as he says he won't let them shoot the puppy in the head. since in his experience, it will just lose its memory and start driving a cab, and with or without amnesia, a dog behind the wheel is dangerous. The men run off beaten and bloody as Dick tries to help the dog, but is bitten on the hand for his trouble. He doesn't mind though, knowing the dog doesn't trust anyone and understands why. Picking her up, Nightwing grapples up into the roofs to get the dog to a vet and to get himself to a doctor to look at the bite. Elsewhere in Bloodhaven, Blockbuster and Commissioner McLean meet with the mayor of Bloodhaven. Roland isn't happy with him, but the mayor knows meeting under a bridge at night is certain to attract trolls. McLean opens a case full of files as Roland says that many of his operations have stagnated, as the council president is quite impressed that he literally has organized crime. Roland isn't pleased with the woman's attitude, knowing all about her family and where she came from, and both her and the mayor were to do as they were told. The mayor talks back, but Blockbuster grabs his head, picking him up and intending on making him an example. Roland crushes the mayor's head as he tells the woman his body will not be found, and Melinda there is to be mayor now, as per her seat on the council. Blockbuster says that her job is to serve the city, and he is the city. The woman understands as Roland says that he spoke with her father, and while he's a killer, he's not a liar, and while he and Melinda are estranged, he spoke very highly of her. Shaking her hand, Blockbuster congratulates Melinda Zuko on becoming mayor. Later on, Dick heads home after dropping the dog at the vet and getting stitches in his hand. Arriving back at the apartment block he owns, he notices something is wrong and someone is in his apartment, so he races into an alley to change, racing back up to the apartment in costume, only to be thrown onto the bed by Barbara Gordon. Barbara says that he really needs some new security, but Dick says it's literally cutting edge tech. She says that anyone with years of trespassing skills and defense disabling tech could just walk right in. Dick asks why she is there besides pointing out his shortcomings, so the woman says that she has something she wishes to share with him. Suddenly she hears a bark and it makes her wonder if Bloodhaven has flying dogs, being that they are 3 stories up. Dick retrieves the dog and Barbara instantly falls in love with her, asking her name, but Dick says the people who pick her up from the pound will be able to name her later. Barbara knows he definitely won't be taking the dog back to the pound, and the creature now has a forever home in Dick's apartment, and he just needs to accept that. Dick again asks why she is there, so Barbara says that as Oracle, she was chosen to be the executor of Alfred's will, and Dick missed the reading, thanks to being someone else at the time. Barbara tells him to have a seat since this will be a lot to take in. Looking over the will, Dick learns that Alfred was a billionaire, wondering why a billionaire would make him sandwiches and do his washing. Barbara says it's the exact same reason why one would fight crime in Gotham City, because it's what he wanted to do, and the letter he left Dick should explain it better. Opening the letter, Dick learns that Alfred definitely wasn't expecting his death, but he was still prepared, given their line of work, and he knows that the fortune he is leaving him will be a shock. The letter explains that Alfred was given a large sum of Wayne Industries stock when he became Bruce's legal guardian, and it was made into a ludicrous amount of money he had no use for. So he invested it ethically and in places that it would do good, planning on coming to Dick for advice on it since his mind is astonishing, and he thinks in ways no one else can, and is a problem solver in a world full of problems. Alfred's letter says that he could think of no one better to leave his fortune to, and he knows Dick will see it not as a personal gain, but as an opportunity because he believes in Dick Grayson and in the boy who always stepped up when someone needed help. Alfred closes his letter by telling Dick that he believes that he can be one of the greatest forces for good in the world, and whatever he chooses to do, he must know that Alfred is very proud of him and of his heart, his compassion, and his optimism, and most importantly, he's very proud to call Dick Grayson his son. Elsewhere in Upper Bloodhaven, Melinda returns home, telling her other half that Blockbuster has made her mayor of the city. They ask if she's ready for this and what about Dick Grayson, but Melinda knows that she isn't ready to deal with Grayson yet, though she knows that she cannot wait any longer and she must fulfill her family's mission to finish off the Flying Graysons.